Okay, so today we're going to talk about how it is we can start to order decimals. So we've been putting them into equalities, right? Thinking about greater than, less than, equal to. We've also been talking about hundreds and tenths and thousandths. And really what it comes down to now is a common question that we often see is something like this: order these decimals from greatest to least. So we're going to approach that through a 4-step process over here. So we're going to walk through that a couple times. Full disclosure, cannot find my stylus. So handwriting is super sloppy today. And I apologize. My finger on the screen just does not look as good as a pen. So bear with me. What's important is we understand the skill, but I had to give full disclosure. So let's dive in. So what are we doing? All right, so we're ordering from greatest to least. So the first step when we're doing this is setting it up. This is an important one. It's one that's kind of often overlooked. And this is what I mean by that. What I'm going to do is organize my paper so that it's ready to do this type of work. So I'm not guessing or playing around. So the first thing I note is that the direction says it wants me to start with the greatest number. So I like to go over here and I'll write a little G, and then it's going to the least or the smallest value. So I'm going to put an L on the other side. And this is just to help me recognize where I'm starting and where I'm ending. The next thing I like to do to set up is notice how many decimals I have. And this can get confusing because we got these commas separating each one. But what I see is I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 decimals. So I'm going to put that down here. I'm going to make 5 blanks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And here, let's fix that because that, so my 5th one a little bit. There we go. Okay. So that's the first step. Like, notice I haven't even done any math yet. I'm just organizing my paper to help me be successful. Now, I think I'm going to zoom in a little bit so we have some space on this. I'm going to shift this over here like this. We'll come back. And so then the next step is we're going to stack. So I'll do that over here. I'm going to take these decimals and I'm going to stack them up. And this is the challenge of now using my finger over stylus, but we have 5 and 634 thousandths. We have 5 and 637 thousandths. We have 6 and 242 thousandths. We have 5 and 63 hundredths. And we have 5 and 551 thousandths. Now, again, notice they're all lined up by the place values. The decimal is definitely the anchor that helps me do that. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to look for the greatest value. So in order to do that, I'm going to start in the ones place. So we're going to come over here. And in the ones place, I'm looking for my greatest value. Well, one of them sticks out to me right away, and that's this one, because 6 ones is greater than 5 ones. So that's actually going to be my greatest decimal. So I'm going to come over here and put it down. 6 and 242 thousandths. And then since I've done this one, I'm actually going to cross it off. Okay, so it's done. And this is what I'm doing now. I'm on step 3. I'm comparing. Sorry, I kind of jumped ahead there. That's my fault. I'm comparing the place values. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to look for the next largest number. And again, I'm going to go back to the ones place and I'm going to look and I have a 5, 5, 5, 5. Well, those are all the same, so that doesn't help me. So I'm going to now jump over to the tenths place because that's the next largest value. And what I notice is I have a 6, a 6, a 6, and a 5. And again, I'm looking for the largest. So right now, I don't need to worry about that 5 tenths. In fact, I have 6 tenths, 6 tenths, and 6 tenths. And those are all the largest so far. Again, remember, I'm not even looking at this one because I've already used it. So since my next largest ones out here are 6, 6 tenths, 6 tenths, and 6 tenths, then I'm going to jump over to my hundredths place because at this point, they're all equal. And this says 3, 3. Oh, okay, thanks for making it easy, math. Okay, so even in the tenths, they're all the same. So now what I have to do is I'm going to jump over to the hundredths. And I have a 4, I have a 7, and then I have nothing, which is technically a 0. Okay, so now out of the 4, the 7, and the 0, again, just to note, I'm not even looking at this one anymore because back in the tenths place, it was too small. So I have a 4, a 7, and a 0 in the thousandths place. I'm looking for the largest value. And what I see is the largest is going to be right here because 7 thousandths is more than 4 thousandths or 0 thousandths. So that's my next largest number. So that's going to be 5 and 637 thousandths. So now that one's done. And I can still stay over here in the thousands because now I realize that this is the next largest. And once you start to get a couple of these, you'll see how it starts to free up and go quicker. And then I have 5 and 630. Oh, but I put that 0 in as placeholder. So actually it's just 5 and, oh, that did not erase. 5. Oh boy. Oh boy, just kidding. Haha, at one point, this is going to delete. There we go. 5 and 63 hundredths. And then that leaves me with my least or smallest value of them all, which was 5 and 551 thousandths. And really that does check out as I look, like even if you look in the ones place, well, the 6 is in the front because it's the greatest. 6 ones is greater than 5 ones. And then the numbers after that, right? 637 is bigger than 634. Both of them are bigger than 630, right? Because again, remember, there's a 0 placeholder and 551. So this pans out, this checks out, it all checks out. Let me get rid of all that sloppiness. Yeah, and there you have it. So again, I'm going through this process that we just did here. I set them up, greatest, least, put my slash lines, I stack them, I compare place values, and then I just start to fill in them and cross them out. So let's continue that trend. Let's play with another one. No, seriously, let's play with another one. Oh, look at this one already got done. Don't look, don't look, don't look, don't look, don't look. You didn't see anything. Somehow someone had already done some math before us. Okay. Okay, now look. I'm really guessing that whole time you had your eyes closed and you didn't look. All right, so let's do this. Let's do this problem here that somehow someone had magically done for us before we got there. Talk about the matrix. All right, order these decimals from least to greatest. So again, we're going to follow these four steps. I'm counting. I got it. 4 steps. So we're going to set it up. We're going to stack the place value. We're going to compare our place values, and then we're going to cross off and fill in. So first is the setup. So remember, pay attention to the directions. I'm not even doing math yet. It says least to greatest. So I'm going to put an L here. I'm going to put a G here. So this time I know I'm actually looking for my smallest value first. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 decimals. Oh boy. So let's see. I actually feel like I'll probably have to put this out here. So we're going to need 6 slash lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we're going to stack. Oh man, I miss my stylus right now. I'll tell you that. So 732 thousandths, 742 thousandths, 772 thousandths, 778 thousandths, 707 thousandths, and 700ths. Ooh, that fit on there. Cool. All right. Next step, compare our place values. So if we look in the ones place, well, they're all zeros. So they're all actually the least at this point. Okay. Now I'm going to move over to the tenths place. And again, we're looking for the smallest value. And what I see down here is 0 tenths is less than 7 tenths. So that's going to end up being our first value. Because again, the direction asked for the smallest number first. It said the least. So that one's done. Okay. Now we come back. Again, we have a bunch of zeros in the ones place. We have a bunch of 7s, so they're all the same. So I'm going to look over in the hundreds place. And look in the hundreds place. There we go. And again, I'm looking for the least. So I have a 3, 4, 7, 7, 0. So 0, this one right here, that's the least. So that's the next one. So that was 707 thousandths. So these two are gone. I can stay over here in the hundredths because I still have different digits. 3, 4, 7, 7. Well, 3 is definitely smaller than 4 or 7. So we're going to put that one in there. And then I'm still staying there. I have a 4 and I have a 7 and a 7. Well, 4 is the smallest, so that's going to be this one. So 742 thousandths. And then I'm left with these two numbers. And it's kind of sloppy, so I'm actually going to rewrite them out here. That's okay. You can do that. And again, I'm going to go back and compare. Same. Oh, 2 thousandths is smaller than 8 thousandths. Therefore, this is the next smallest. And then my greatest value, the biggest number, which is actually the last one I'm writing, because that's what the direction said, puts me right there. So again, there we go. Setting them up, stack them in their place value, compare your place values, and then start the cross off and fill in system. And again, I know this looks a little